for feeding the hives is not normal by the local beekeepers in our country, but around the world is very common. And here we are having each year less losses of the hives. And one handling that we do is feed the hives during the period that there is no flowers, during the gap period between the period of the harvest seasons. And we have different kinds of feeders. This is the first one. This is the top feeder that we put on the top of the nest, and the bees will come from down to the top and will take this syrup or the protein that you add here. This is the first one. Another kind of feeder is an internal feeder in wood, which name is Doolittle feeder. And we add this feeder inside the hive, removing one of the 10 frame. We remove one frame and insert the feeder, and after add the syrup. And we have here a plastic feeder, Doolittle feeder, but in plastic with rugose surface, internal surface, for the bees having access inside and drinking the syrup. And this kind of hive, the cover, we have in the cover a roll with a screen, as you can see, for two different purposes. First, for open it during the transport of the hives, and the second, for add a jar. We add a jar with a small rolls on the cover, on the lid, for the bees having access to drinking the syrup, and put the jar with syrup in this position. This is very easy and the most efficient feeder that we have, because you can control the flow of the syrup, open more rolls or closing more rolls. This is very, very important. And we have conditions to evaluate the consumption of the syrup, of the food, outside. We do not need to open the hive or disturbing the bees for checking what is happening inside. This hive has an entrance reducer with two different positions. The first position is small, that we can adjust during the month from winter season, and we have another option that is bigger for the other seasons around the world. We can close or we can open completely the entrance, but mainly we adjust with this kind of material. When you are not transporting the hive and when you are not feeding the hive using the jar, you close the top for the bees to stay under a completely shade. For handling the hive and remove the bees, we use the bee brush. The bee brush is this device for remove the bees from the comb, and we check what's happened with the brood, or when we are harvesting the honey, removing, sweeping the bees from outside and stay with the frame without bees. If our swarm is small, for example, having 5 frames, half of a hive, we can use this protection. This is a material that we will put here inside for stay with hot temperature in this side of the hive that the bees are living. We use it mainly these two for the autumn or winter season for protection and block the cold from outside or from this space that is empty inside the hive. This is very efficient material. For show you, this is a standard hive from Langstroth standard. One bottom board, one nest, hive board, and one cover. When we started the beekeeping here, we had access only at this kind of material. Almost of the beekeepers of this country have access only to this kind of hive. And we have some difference between the hive that I am showing you and this one that we have access to the local market. The first thing, if you check the frames has no eyelets for the wire crossing free. Anytime that you need to pressing for make the tension on the wire, it will be fixed on the wood and you can't do a perfect job. Another thing, this is a common wire, not stainless steel. With the time, it will oxidize, and the oxidation will transfer for the honey and from the wax that we are using in our hive. Many hives that we are having access, there is no building with solid wood as we have here, but with cardboard box, as you can see here. This is cardboard. In the first water that we use it here, we will have a big damage and we will lose the material. And anytime when the season finish, the hives that are empty, we need to wash, we need to apply mainly acetic acid for produce the sterilization of the material for storage in our workshop. And in this material, if you put water, you will have a big problem. You will lose this material. It's not wood. And many times we have hives that on the floor is not wood, but but only cardboard boxes. If take water, we will lose. Another thing with these local hives, we talked with you before about the bee space that we need to have the bee space. Different frames that coming with the local material has different dimensions. And if you can check, we have here in the first frame a space, but we do not have space here. And this is a very, very big problem. Very big problem. We need to have a standard of all frames with the same dimension, with the same size. And the cover of this material, if you see, the cover will support in this side of the wood. Then, anytime that we put the cover here, we have this space that the bees coming to the top and build wax combs. That's why it's necessary to use a cover, a screen on the top of the hive, and after you need to put the cover for avoid the bees build the wax comb between the top bar of the frames and the cover. For transporting hives, we can use it only the ventilation system using this top hole here on the cover. But if we have a very strong swarm inside and the temperature is too hot, we need to remove the cover and installing a ventilation screen. This is a ventilation screen that you put on the top of the hive and replace the original cover. We have all surface with a ventilation screen for promote the correct ventilation during the transport. And we will wait until night for all bees enter inside the hives, use a sponge instead the entrance reducer. We wait the bees enter inside the hives, starting the night, and close the entrance, and we will be ready for the transport. We will put the cover only for the bees do not receive the solar light directly, and during the transport we remove it for transporting. But we have here this support for entering inside, but we need to fix this component to the hive. We created this device here with a metal, and we have this tape. First, let me adjust here. Very easy, cheap for produce and for use. Use it. It's very easy. This is the smoker. This is the device that we use it for handling the bees inside the apiaries, inside the hives. We have the smoker that we use for sweet bees, small, and we have here the smoke that we use for aggressive bees. As for example, the African breeds that we have as Apis mellifera dansoni, Apis mellifera scutellata, Apis mellifera intermissa, and from Brazil, the killer bees. If you enter inside the apiary with a small smoker, you will die. The bees will kill you. That's why we need to use this smoker with a good, too much, to produce too much smoke. This is very important. And here in United Arab Emirates, we are using for not for handling the routine handling the hives, but for harvest we use only once this smoker in our apiaries, and after we forget to use the smoke. And it start to produce the smoke and stay 1 day long working. Each few minutes we need to replace the material to burn inside, and this no need. It's very important, this detail. One of the most important issues in beekeeping is queen rearing. How to reproduce the queens for create new queen bees each new season. And we have here some cups, plastic cups, that we can use it, or producing our own cups with pure wax that we produce it as well. For producing the cups with wax, we need to immerse this bastum inside the wax and twice and remove the cup. But we can use the plastic cups. The bees accept without any problem. We have the most important and the most known of methodology for creating new queen bees, for adding 1 drop of royal jelly inside the cup and grafting, transfer 1 larva of a female of a worker bees and put on the top of the royal jelly. After this, we put here and put in the starter hive that the bees will create a new queen bee. It's very interesting. And another methodology, we have the Nicot system. This is a plastic box, very simple, and on the back we can add the plastic cups for all rows, and in front we have a small rolls that is inside the cups. For producing the larvae directly inside the cups without grafting, without transfer the hives, we need only to put the queen inside this box and close. The queen will stay closed inside the box, and in front there is a queen excluder that the worker bees can go inside, feed the queen, but the queen can't go outside, and she will be obligated to lay eggs in these rolls. When she laid eggs inside these cups, after 3 days you remove the cup and put in this system. Oh, very fast. And we put in a hive already prepared as a starter without a queen bee, for the worker bees create new queen bees. This is very easy. And this season, from the cedar season, we will start to create these bees. And after 12 days, we will have a closed queen cell, and we need to add this kind of cage and put in each one. For which purpose? For if some queen bee born before, do not kill the other queen bees. They will stay closed inside this cage. After born, we can introduce the new queen bee in different hives, mainly the hives that we have weak population, low honey production. And if we do not want to wait the queen bee born in the starter hive, we can use it. The queen cell, we remove this piece directly and put inside the queen cell introducer. The name of this device is West Protector. We will put the queen cell inside and close and put on the frame. The bees that will receive the queen cell when we remove the old queen can't kill this future queen inside the queen cell, because they do not have access from the top. They can only kill a queen cell from the top. From down, it's impossible. We have this kind plastic. We have another kind of Protector West, and we have this one that we produced by ourselves with wire, use a wood baston for doing it. And we have in all West protection a hole for when the queen bee born, she will come from down. We have another material for collecting the queens inside the hives. For example, this clip. We have a queen excluder, and if we find the queen and we need to remove the queen, we can use this for catch the queen inside, and the bees can enter inside for feeding the queen, but the queen can't go outside. If you need to preserve the queen bee, you use this material. If you not preserve, you kill directly. And here we have a lift for mark a new queen bee. Each year we have a standard color for mark the queen bee on the thorax. Then we put the queen inside and pressing against this screen and use it a special pen for marking the queen bee on the thorax. For this year, the color is blue. 2022 is blue. Then we can mark the queen, and anytime that you open this hive with the queen that was marked with the color of the year, we will know that the queen was born in different years. We showed to you in this episode the main material that we use in the field. Next episode, we will show you how to prepare this material for spreading the field and receiving the bees. Bye, see you soon.